So hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. So I just saw this post from Sleuthy Goosey on Twitter, and she does a lot of great work for these cases that we are covering, and this is related to the Idaho 4. These are the 4 university college-age students that were slain in their sleep over in Moscow, Idaho, on the outskirts of the University of Idaho. And it's related to Bryan Kohberger, the assailant that they arrested in Pennsylvania. And some of the information is coming out, and she's questioning some of it because of the gates that were there. As you know, Molly Golightly and myself went to that location in the Poconos Mountains just recently, actually just 2 days ago. And yes, there were several heavy-duty gates. They're bar gates. They're not the closed gates. They're the ones that go down and up.
Yeah, they don't let nobody in unless they get a phone call.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get in there.
Yeah. So hey guys, Bullhorn Betty. Right behind me is Indian Mountain Lake. This is the community that Bryan Kohberger lives in. If you guys are not familiar with Bryan Kohberger, he is accused of slaying 4 people in their sleep in Moscow, Idaho. Right now I'm in the Poconos Mountains here in Pennsylvania. I did find out that the roadways back here are private roadways. So the only way we're going to get back is being invited by one of the neighbors. So we will be working on that for another trip here. But for the time being, I went up to the station up there, that right there, and I talked to them about whether or not media can go back there. And they told us that at this time, they're not allowing any media back there in that property. What we did find out is this is a very quiet community, a very safe community. The people here are distraught about the findings of one of their own being responsible for such a heinous crime. At any rate, they were pretty extensive, and I'm not sure how law enforcement was unable to get in those gates. But one thing we did learn from the local news, as well as the residents in that community, is that a helicopter was used. And I found that awfully funny because, you know, we have watched these cases unfold, throughout the United States. In very little time do we actually have a helicopter that hovers over the top of a house that is about to be breached by law enforcement and an assailant, even one that has committed such horrible crimes such as a quadruple homicide. Very rarely are helicopters used. So I found it awfully funny that we're hearing of a helicopter, and the neighbors talked about it, and they could hear it, several, I would say from their house to where we were was at least a mile, maybe less, or, between a mile. And the neighbors out front said they heard it, that at 3 a.m., the commotion from the helicopters was very, very overwhelming.
That night, was it 3 a.m. that you heard the helicopters?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And did it wake you up?
It took.
I'm a night person anyway, so I was up.
So you were up?
I wasn't home. I was coming from New York. But it took, normally it's a 5-minute drive from the end to here.
Yeah.
45 minutes to get from the end to here. The traffic was all backed up.
Oh, wow.
They had reporters all out here and everything.
Yeah. But they could definitely hear it, that it was very distracting. The one gal even went as far as to say she was already up at the time, but this did concern her a little bit. So I want you to look at this and let me know what you think. Do you think that they were having problems at the gate, that they knew that they had problems at the gate? I mean, if they had a warrant, I don't see how the man there was a female that was in a building out front of those gates that I went and personally spoke to. So it was a manned gate. How are they having problems getting into that gate? That gate was not a keyed gate as alleged here in this paperwork that I could see. When I went to talk to the gal inside of the security building.
Whatever fences are.
So some thoughts while reading The Eye of the Killer. To be honest, I doubt the state police were unaware of the huge gate at the front of the community. Let's say they were unaware. How? So Lucy Goosey here has some things.
Give you 2 minutes, okay?
Thank you.
I'll find them.
She had access to open and close that gate. So why were they having problems going in, and why wouldn't they have the necessary search warrant to get inside that gate undetected without being notified by the security to that home? The only thing I can think of is out of an abundance of caution, they didn't want to let anybody know, including the security, that they were, one, monitoring or watching this man. And two, I think that helicopter has a lot to do with how they were able to breach that home. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And here again is the article from Sleuthy Goosey related to the stuff that they found. She's questioning how were they able to see him discard trash if they weren't even allowed inside the gate. I have to believe that they have access inside that gate, as they do many other gates in that community. With the proper search warrant and proper information, they should be able to go inside any community, as law enforcement has the broadest power here in the United States. So just don't forget to like, share, and comment. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say. God bless. Until next time, be safe.